the scientist who saw the future, and it was terrifying. Book America, 1980. While millions of people feared nuclear war, one scientist feared something far more dangerous. Not an explosion, not an enemy, but an invisible force that was slowly changing the planet. His warnings were ignored. His research was mocked. Years later, the world realized he had been telling the truth all along. This is the dark, real story of NASA scientist Dr. James Hansen. For years, Hansen worked quietly inside NASA's Goddard Institute for Space Studies. His job wasn't glamorous. He wasn't building rockets or searching for aliens. Instead, he studied something almost no one paid attention to: Earth's temperature. Day after day, he compared records from around the world. The numbers looked small, almost meaningless, but together they revealed something terrifying. The planet wasn't staying the same. It was slowly getting warmer. At first, Hansen thought there had to be a mistake, so he checked the data again and again. Different computers, different calculations. The answer never changed. Every result pointed toward the same frightening conclusion: human activity was changing Earth's climate. In the early 1980s, very few people believed global warming was a serious problem. Most politicians ignored it. Many companies dismissed it. Some scientists weren't convinced either. To many people, Hansen's warnings sounded impossible. How could tiny amounts of invisible gases change an entire planet? It sounded unbelievable, but Hansen trusted the evidence. Not opinions, not politics, only facts. Late at night, long after most offices were empty, Hansen often sat surrounded by stacks of research papers and computer printouts. The room was silent except for the sound of machines. Every new simulation painted the same picture: higher temperatures, longer droughts, more powerful storms, melting ice. The future looked darker every time he ran the calculations. The most frightening part wasn't what he saw, it was how few people were willing to listen. Years passed, the evidence became stronger. More weather stations confirmed rising temperatures. Glaciers were shrinking, oceans were warming. Still, critics claimed the research was exaggerated. Some newspapers called it fear-mongering. Others said nothing would happen. Hansen refused to give up. He continued collecting evidence. He continued publishing research. He continued speaking the truth. Then came one of the most important moments of his career. In the late 1980s, Hansen testified before the United States Congress. He stated that global warming was no longer a theory for the future. It had already begun. The room became silent. Some lawmakers believed him. Others doubted every word. But history would remember that day because it marked one of the first major public warnings from a leading climate scientist. Decades later, the world experienced record-breaking heat. Wildfires grew larger. Floods became more destructive. Powerful hurricanes became more frequent. Scientists across the globe confirmed many of the same trends Hansen had warned about years earlier. His research became one of the foundations of modern climate science. The numbers had never lied. People simply chose not to believe them. The darkest discoveries aren't always hidden inside secret laboratories. Sometimes they're written inside ordinary scientific data. Quiet, patient, waiting for someone to pay attention. Dr. James Hansen didn't predict the future using magic. He predicted it using science. And history proved that some of the scariest warnings are the ones the world ignores first. If this story fascinated you, remember one thing: sometimes the truth doesn't sound terrifying until it becomes reality.